Right. So good to see most of you all wanted to continue. Good. Nice. So we'll start off with Lamai, the first set of past papers. Like I told you in the introduction, I have broken the unit into certain subparts. The first subpart, I call it a focus area. So the first focus area is another on these topics, micro, macro, positive, normative, what is economics, resources, and goods. Once that is done, that part is done. So we'll start, Lamai. The first set of questions are actually easy. So very easy questions, Lamai. I will not go into very detail. For that, we'll get into and we'll get the exam. So I want you to give me answers on the chat box. I then know how many of you all have got it right. Then I know how much I need to explain. Because if all of you all have got it right, then I don't have to waste time explaining it too much. I know that you know it. Okay. So 2011 A-levels, question number 2. So this is the one that is there in your tutor. The branch of economics that studies the decisions of individuals, households, and firms. So there are two branches, Lamai. One branch is called microeconomics, and the other one is called macroeconomics. I'm not going into too much of detail, but what are these? Microeconomics is where, Lama, you focus on a small part of the economy. You study how one individual is doing, how a firm is behaving, how a certain product is doing. That's microeconomics. You talk about a small segment of the economy. What's macroeconomics? Macroeconomics is where, Lama, you focus on the entire broad economy, the country's GDP, the country's araka, country's maker. You talk about everything. So what is this, Lama? Studies individual households and firms. That is microeconomics. Nice. So first one is number 2. Good. There's also one more thing. In your past paper class, Lamai, the class group, okay, I will also be sending you all current context related ones starting from now. So given that I work in this econ field, I go through all the econ news. I go through all the central bank publications, different things I go through. So anything that I feel is important for you all, anything that is good for you all to know, I will share it on the class group. So make sure that you read them. I will not be sharing nonsense, memes and jokes and daan. I'm not that kind of a person. I will share something important. Once you read, just react with a thumbs up. If I send like a report or something, once you read it, react with thumbs up so that I know, right? So you can do that. Going forward, little by little, I will say. Right. Then going to the next one. Which of the following is a normative statement? Normative. So there are something called positive statements, and you have things called normative statements. So what are normative statements, Lama? Positive statements, we say, are fact-based. So positive statements are about certain things that will happen, that would have happened. It's objective. You can prove whether these are right or wrong. Those are positive statements. We know that. What are normative, Lama? Normative statements are value-based, personal opinions. There can be right or wrong. Now, for example, I am saying, no, I will not give the recording of this class. I am saying that is because I don't want any of you all to take me for granted. Now, some of you all will come and say, sir, we have school, no, sir, we have other classes, no, sir, why don't you give? That is your perspective. This is my perspective. There is no right or wrong. Those are normative statements. So which one do you think is the normative statement here? The one that is subjective, the one that you can argue there is no right or wrong. First one, economics classify resources as land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship. That's a fact. No, that's a fact-based. Environment is a scarce resource. That's also a fact. There is no argument there. It's a fact. If income increases, sale of goods will fall. If income increases, sale of that is actually wrong. If income increases, luxury goods sales will increase. But whether it is right or wrong, when I so that is again another positive statement. You can prove, as long as you can prove a statement, Lama. If you can prove it whether it's right or wrong, then that's a positive statement. Next one, economies have limited resources. That's also a fact. That's also a positive statement. So all answer number 1 to answer number 4 are positive statements. Then the last one, an unequal distribution of resources. Resources will say income. So they are saying unequal distribution of income is unfair. Some of you all might say, fair. Some of you all might say, no, peace to the men, it is unfair. So Some people will say, sir, everyone has the basic same needs, sir. So everyone should get the same resources, same income. I will say no. Some people have studied hard. Some people have worked very hard. They should get a higher income. Some people have been playing the fool doing nothing. Let them get a lower income. I will say that is only fair. So again, subject. Right. And also, one more thing. These normative statements usually have some keywords. Why can't it be tested? There's no way to test, right? This is debatable. I will say no fair. You will say no unfair. So there is no right or wrong there. There is no right or wrong. But there are some key words. What are the key words that are usually there in normative statements? But usually normative statements have some key words. Like what? Like, should, ought, must. And sometimes some words are there. Right? Has to. Okay. And usually things that have these words become normative. Not always, right? But look for some of these keywords sometimes. Just because the word is there, it's not normative, but be a little mindful when you see a word like, right? Then that is done. We go to 2011 question number 4. Which of the following is an example of a natural resource? Natural කියන්නේ ළමයි gifted by nature, not man-made. So natural කියන්නේ gifted by nature. People haven't made. So which of this is gifted by nature? මොන You have Victoria Dam, Hambantota Harbour, paddy field, poultry farm, waterfall. Which of this is natural? Completely gifted by nature. Now, dam made by man, my dam make people no make. So not this. A harbour? A harbour is again made by people. No? Harbour කියලා my container තියෙනවා අරවා තියෙනවා මේවා තියෙනවා. It's again made by people. So man-made. No, it's not natural. Paddy field looks more natural. But is a paddy field ළමයි gifted by nature? Paddy field ළමයි our farmers නේ ළමයි ගිහිල්ලා cultivate කරන්නේ. They are the people who cut and plough and do everything. So paddy field is also not natural ළමයි. Not gifted by nature. A poultry farm කියන්නේ මේ අර chicken and hens and eggs and all of that. Again gifted by nature? No, man-made. So any harbour ළමයි, even if it's Trincomalee harbour. Harbour කියන්නේ අර මුහුද විතරක් නෙවෙයි, right? When you say a harbour, I'm not very sure if you have gone into a harbour. I went into the Colombo harbour recently for one of our office-related work. One of our clients is from the harbour, right? So we went in. It was very nice, right? So, harbour එකක් කියන්නේ it's not just the beach, right? There are these container docking equipment, that all of that is only the harbour. Harbour is not just the plain this thing. Now, even if you take Trincomalee harbour, yes, shape is nice, shape is naturally there. But for it to be a harbour, you have to have all so much of other things. So harbour is not completely natural. Maybe the beach part of it is fine, but the harbour itself is man-made. So you can't say it's a natural resource. So then what do you have as an answer? The answer you have is Dunhin the waterfall. Now, a waterfall is not man-made. If you look at a waterfall, that's never man-made. People don't make water to fall from rock on the top. That is completely natural. So that is why you go with that answer. Everything else, answer 1 to answer number 4, there is some level of what? There is some level of human involved. Koheng hari, people have made, but waterfall is not. Right. That's 2011 question number 4. Okay. Then we'll go into my 2011 question 5. Since it's the first time we are going through this question, I'll take some time to explain. Economic good is one which, okay, tell me, Laman. Can you tell me what is an economic good? Economic good කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? It's a good that is limited in supply or unlimited in supply. Limited or unlimited? It's limited, or another word you can say is scarce in supply, right? So it's limited, or in other words, you can say scarce in supply, right? Good. What about my opportunity cost? Is there an opportunity cost of producing this? An economic good? Is there an opportunity cost of producing? Yes. So has an opportunity cost. Is there a resource cost lamai? Resource cost can lamai cost to produce the good. Like land, labor, do you have to pay them to produce it? Yes, no? There is a, so has a opportunity cost, has a resource cost. Resource cost can lamai cost of production. Resource cost. Okay. Then lamai, consumer has to bear a price. Is that a characteristic? Economic good. Does the consumer always have to bear a price? Now, for example, if I look at this class that we are doing, this class that we are doing, it's an economic good. No? I am using my limited time, my limited resources, and I am doing this class. You are nicely coming in the morning, sitting in front of your laptop or phone, and you're learning it completely free. I didn't even ask a class, cent of a class fee, nothing. No hidden fees, no nothing. Completely free. You're the consumer, you're coming and learning. So consumer doesn't have a cost. My theory class, you have a cost. You pay a class fees and when the maker, you come completely free. So remember this, Lama, is a place that they confuse you. For something, an economic good, usually Lama, consumer can have a price. Usually consumer can have a price. But it doesn't have to be a characteristic. Sometimes there is a price, sometimes there is no price. So that you can't say, now there are MCQs, we'll go into those. Consumer has to bear a price. That is not a characteristic of economic, because consumer can even get economic good without a price. Example, Lama, even your school textbooks, government school textbook, your school uniform. So consumer may or may not bear a price. What's value based? Will not connect value to this, but those are this thing. Can you give me some examples, Lama? Economic goods. Goods that are, no, has a price is not a characteristic, Lama. It might have, it might not have anything. So economic goods, Lama, books, pens, furniture, laptop, phone, anything that is produced with this uniform, fuel, right? Okay, so I'll just put books and pens, huh? Books and pens, right? Then Lama, non-economic goods. What about choice? Choice, so when there is opportunity cost, automatically choice is getting involved. Because you had to make a choice only, you had an opportunity cost. Right? Okay. So what about non-economic goods now? Can you give me the same characteristics? Limited in supply or unlimited in supply? Unlimited. Non-scarce. So unlimited in supply. Has an opportunity cost or not? No opportunity cost. Zero opportunity cost. No opportunity cost. Is there a resource cost? Is there a cost to produce these? Examples of non-economic goods are what, Lamai? Sunlight, rainwater, air. So sunlight, rainwater, air produce karana cost ekak tiyanawada apita? Do we have a cost? No. So no resource cost. Then Lamai, metana, is there a price for the consumer? Here you can definitely say there is no price, no? You can't say may have a price, may not have a price. The air that you're breathing, price ekak naha. So here you can say zero price. Here you can definitely say zero price. But for economic good, you can't say zero price. For economic good, Lama, it can have a price, cannot have a price. Okay. What about this, Lama? There was another one. What about Mega? Non-economic goods, you can also say, given that is unlimited in supply, you can also say, Lama, gifted by nature. That is also correct. Gifted by nature. That's also fine. Ownership, Lamai, if you want, you can say economic goods has ownership, non-economic goods doesn't have clear ownership. You can say that also. Yes. No, price and cost is not the same. Price is for the consumer. Zero price for consumer. Cost is for the producer. Okay. Examples, Lamai? Yes, no competition in consumption. Correct. Examples: air, Water also better to say rainwater and hema. You can just say water also, but better to say rainwater, sun. Right. So since this is the first question that we are going on this area, Lamai, I went a little bit in detail. Next time this question from this economic, non-economic come, let's detail yanne. Right. So which one can you say, Lamai? Economic good. An economic good is one which has an opportunity cost in production. Looks correct, no? Economic good has opportunity. Does not use up resources? No. You use land, labor, capital, entrepreneurs to produce it. So you can't say that. Is supplied competitively. Supplied competitively, there is competition in supply. Now, there can be competition. Sometimes there cannot be competition. Now, for example, take a monopoly. Take, for example, Sri Lanka Railways. They are providing the train service, railway service. That's an economic good. But even though it's an economic good, there is no competition for railway directly. Our railway service, they are monopoly. So you can't directly say that it is supplied competitively. Competition, it might have, it might not have. That we don't know. So that's not a characteristic. And then makes a profit, you can't say that. Now, for example, right now doing this class, I am not making a profit. I don't have a very big cost. The only cost is my time and my electricity running around, sitting and these 2 hours and making the time is there, but I am not printing any tutes. So outside it cost, but I am not earning anything also. So I don't have a profit from this. So you can't say makes a profit. Sometimes there are businesses that make losses also. So you can't say. Then available at zero price. That's not, you can't definitely say that. It can be, usually there is a price, but can even be at zero price also. But then you can't go with that as an answer, because then that is more correct for non-economic. So you can't say economic good is one that is available at zero price. A non-economic good is definitely available at zero price. Economic may have a price, may not have a price. So therefore, not that as. I was given just water. Are we considering bottle? Is bottled water? No, not bottled water. Bottled water is economic. When you say water, the river water, rain water, that's what we are considering as non-economic. Okay. Non-economic goods are also called free goods, correct? Not natural, but we can call it free. Correct. So non-economic goods, another name is free goods. Is that okay? Because it says even at a zero price. But you have a better answer. You can't go with them. No, you won't call it normal goods. That's a different one. That's unit number 2. Now remember, you always select the most correct one, right? When you have main characteristic, it has opportunity cost, you go with that. You can't argue that, sir, some of the goods don't have this one, sir. Therefore, zero price okay. Competitive story once again. The competitive story once again is now that means there is competition. So now, for example, if you take Sri Lanka railways will the competition. They are the only railway service. They do whatever they want. So there are a monopoly there. So no competition. So you might have competition, might not have. Now, for example, A-level classes, there is competition. There are so many other teachers that are there. Can we say production process involved in economic goods? Yes, that's why we have a resource cost, because there is a production process, there is a cost of production. Correct. Free goods, cost-free goods, natural goods. Yes, you can call it all of that. Non-economic. Done. So then, that's 2011. Okay, how did you all do? 2011 world, we had 4 MCQs from this first focus area. How did you all do out of 4? 4 out of 4. 5 tibbe naha lamai, 4 tibbe. 4 out of 4. I think first question was not from this. Good, right. That's a good start. Then we'll go into the next one. Okay, we'll try to finish most of the MCQs today. So coming to 2012. Okay, easy one. Economic goods are competitive? No, it doesn't have to be. So, there could be competition, there could not. Okay, right. Which of the following would be a microeconomic topic? Microeconomic where you focus on a small part about one individual, one household, one product, a small part of the economy. Which one? A general rise in interest rates. That is entire economy. No interest rates, no. Drop in inflation. Inflation is also entire economy. GDP, that's the entire. Drop in unemployment, that's all the entire economy. Increase in the price of milk powder. Milk powder is just one product. We are not talking about the entire economy. Milk powder is aneka deyak, no? So that is what becomes the microeconomic topic. So milk powder is just one product. It's not the entire thing. Okay. If you have missed anything, I'll come at the end of the class. Unless I scroll up and down and up and down. Stay focused. You will get that. Right. So fourth one is answer number 5. 2012, question number 4, answer is done. Then we go into the next one. Question 5. But now same thing is coming. Last time they asked economic good. Next year, non-economic, free good. A free good has which of the following characteristics? Same thing, me balanna. Product maru karala ahana. So what? It has no opportunity cost. Correct? No? Me balanna. I said free good has no opportunity cost. Maybe. So that's what they are saying. So no opportunity cost? Yes, correct. That can be our answer. Then we look at the other answers. Number 2 is saying supplied by the government. Air, rain, water, sunlight, government to then is Anura coming and giving you sunlight. No, man. It's gifted by nature. So not this. Then it has no externalities associated. Externalities, we learn in unit number 8, we'll come to that. But we'll not connect it there, right? There could be externalities. Yes, if Anura comes, they might charge. It is perfectly inelastic in supply. Perfectly inelastic, and you can't increase the supply at all. Now, if you want, that is not really under our control, the supply. Supply is unlimited. No? So, elastic, inelastic, then production is subject to law of diminishing return and unit number 4. Now, for these answers, for the examiner to make their 5 options, they will give crazy things, right? So you need to be smart enough. Sometimes some answers doesn't have a connection at all. Because they have to make 5 options to me. They can't keep a MCQ with just 2 or 3 options. So they will give weird stuff. So you be smart enough that don't overthink it too much. Directly when you have something that says no opportunity cost, that's your answer for a free good. Right. That's 2012. Okay. So 2012, there were 2 MCQs. They all get 2 out of 2. Yes. Good. Then we come to 2013. 2013, question number 1. Which of the following is a normative statement? Normative we learned before. Normative kyanne value-based, subjective, people's opinions. Same thing again is there. I think in your paper, I didn't even print it. See, this is where the examiner becomes boring. Right? The fellow has not even come up with a new question. Answer. So what has he done? An unequal distribution of income is unfair. Same thing, right? Right. So I think in the tute, it's not there, no? Previous one answer was number 1. Yes, if you all miss a question, it's very hard for me to go up and down because we don't have that much of time. Past paper book, the answers are there, no? You can go through. If not, at the end of the class, I will show you. Right. Then, that's it with 2013. Nothing. I think you all would have got that. 2014. Interesting question. Question number 3. Out of the following, choose the correct answer that show the features of an economic good. Okay, you all tell me. Number 1, existence of a production cost. Production cost can have a resource cost. Is there a cost to produce an economic good? There is not. Even this class, I have a cost in my Zoom account, my time, my labor, I have a cost. There is a production cost, correct. Existence of a opportunity cost. Now, instead of these 2 hours, maybe I could have slept a little bit. Maybe I could have done my office work. I have so many reports to do. I could have done that. There is opportunity cost. Yes. Consumers have to bear a cost. Is that a characteristic, Lavan? I told you, consumers might bear a cost, might not bear a cost. Can you definitely say consumer has to bear a cost? So remember, I told you, Lamai, before, a previous second, consumer has to bear a cost is not a characteristic of economic. He might bear, he might not bear. Now, for example, this class you are not bearing. My theory class you are bearing. There is a cost. So for the consumer, school textbooks, government textbooks, no cost. So consumer has to bear a cost is not a characteristic. He might bear, he might not. Last one, existence of decreasing marginal cost. Marginal cost will not be decreasing. There is no real connection. But if you take the production of any good, if you remember a little bit of unit number 4, මතකද ළමයි, marginal cost initially decreases, but overall it increases, right? That Nike tick වගේ එකක්. There is no connection with this, but overall marginal cost increases. Maybe if it's an increasing marginal cost, to some extent could have gone with that, but that's not a direct characteristic at all. Right. So then, now, which one is your answer? A and B is the correct one. C and D, ne? So answer number 1. Now, some of you all will go with answer number 3. 3 never. 3 you have taken C as well. You don't take C as a characteristic. If you can't believe me, check your past paper answer. Then, so 3 is number 1, 2014. Then we go into 2015. So 1 out of 1. Why C wrong, Lamai? That's what I showed you all before. So you can't have bearing a cost as a characteristic, Lamai. Consumer might have a cost, might not have a cost. You can't definitely say consumer has to bear a cost. The fact that the consumer has to bear a cost is not a characteristic. That's why C is wrong. Right. 2015, number 1. Quickly give me an answer. Which of the following is a microeconomic statement? Is in my micro key and small part. Focuses on one good or one product, one consumer, something. Which one? Price of rubber. Rubber key and one product, no? So can be our answer. Unemployment rate, entire economy. Real GDP, entire economy. General price level, entire economy. Tax revenue of the government, entire economy. So all of these are macroeconomic topics. First one is the microeconomic. Very easy. Right. Done. Then we go to 2016. Question number 5. The term human capital refers to what? What is human capital? Human capital can. Human capital is the humans who are making capital. Yes. No. What is human capital? Human capital is lamai the knowledge, the experience, the research, the all of that. Not the physical and mental efforts, lamai. Physical and mental efforts, that is labor. No? The training, the competencies, the skills that your labor has. So, which one is the answer? The labor used to make capital equipment, that is not human capital. Buildings, no. The skills, knowledge, endowment of the labor force, correct. So, human capital, human capital is the knowledge that you have, the levels of education, the training, the experience that you have. That is what you call labor force. Labor force, no, human capital. Then, entrepreneurship and risk taking, that is not human capital. Labor force employed in the health sector, no. Nonsense. Price of product is micro, but if there's a general price, macro. Yes, general price level is overall. We studied that in unit number 7. Building and machinery will come under what category? That will be fixed capital, real capital. So this could be real capital. Real or fixed capital. Under the types of capital. Okay, done. Then we go into 2017. Okay. 17 they say, which of the following is not a factor of production? Not a factor. Natural resources, human resources, capital, money, entrepreneurship. In economics, which one is not a factor? We consider something as not a factor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which one is not the factor? The not the factor is the money. Why is money not a factor? We say money is not capital. Why? Now, in accounting, owner invest money under the cash account debit, capital account credit. But why don't we consider money as capital in economics? Because, it is not a productive resource. No? Can you make something with money? Can I do this class with money? No. To do this class, I need a Wi-Fi, I need a laptop, I need an internet connection. I can't do this class with money. No? Can you produce a good with money? No, to produce a good, you need a machine, you need something else. So money doesn't produce a good, Lamai. That's why we say money is not a productive resource. For in economics, for you to be a factor of production, it has to be a productive resource. It has to produce something. Money doesn't produce anything, Lamai. What does money do? Money simply helps you to buy capital, to buy others. So money is not capital, it's not a factor of production or a resource. So that's why you go with answer number 4. 2017, number 1, 4. Then we go into 2018. Which of the following statements is a normative one? Very easy, no? Which one, Lama? Normative. See, increase in fuel prices will encourage the demand for cars. That looks like a fact. You can prove or disprove. You can see whether it will encourage or not. Okay, so not that. If income increases, luxury goods sales will fall. That again, you can prove and see. You can see if income increases, what will actually happen. There is a right or wrong there. Laptop prices fall, people will buy more of them. That also you can check and see. Government should control the rent that house owners charge. Someone is saying government should control the rent that house owners charge. Someone might come and say government has enough and more other work to do. Let them bother on that. Let the other people bother on house rents. So this could be the one that is subjective, and the keyword is also there, right? But I told you, usually keywords should and all is there. Just because it is should doesn't make it a normative, but those are signs, right? And then quantity demand is inversely related, and that's also a fact. So know this as well. So these are very easy ones, Lama. You can't get this wrong, huh? Then going into 2018, there is another one. Which the following is an example of land? Land කියන්නේ මොකක්ද ළමයි? Land කියන්නේ natural. So land is all the natural resources. Now remember, in a previous question, same thing they asked, but they said, what are the natural resources? මෙතන ඒකම තමයි අහන්නේ. But instead of saying natural resources, they gave land. Land is natural resources. So which one? Harbor, expressway, dam, farm, beach. Beach name beach. Which one? Number 5. Same thing. So harbor is not a natural name. I told you, harbor is man-made. People only have to make a harbor. Expressway, definitely. Mahinda is the one who makes expressways, no? Dam, man-made. Farm, man-made. A beach is not man-made, Nilamai. A beach is something that is gifted by nature. Our previous one answer was number 4. Then question 18. 2 was 5, beach. Then we go into 19. The branch of economics that studies individual households and firms. See, same thing. No, this is when I get annoyed with the examiner also, man. Now imagine how much the fellow is getting paid to make the exam paper. He must be getting paid a big amount to me. And it's not one fellow also. There is a whole panel that makes the paper. What have they done? Copied and pasted. 2011 වලින් ගත්ත copy කරා paste කරා. You can't be lazy, Lama. When you're making a paper, I think that's bad. So that makes the standard very low. But it's good for us though. No? So which one? That's microeconomics. Easy one. Then moving to the next. 2019 question 2. Again, an easy one. The income payments made to the resource owners, land, labor, capital, onward, respectively, in order. What's the order? For land, you pay rent. For labor, you pay wages. For capital, you pay interest. For entrepreneurship, you pay profit. Sometimes it could be a loss as well. So which one is this thing? Yes, if here's this, it'll make a hard paper. I would like if it's a hard paper. When it's an easy paper, you study so much and go. And when you see a question, which statement is talks about which branch of economics talks about individual household firm, I think what's the point? You study for years and years. You wake up early in the morning, you do 100 past papers, mock papers, the question comes. This. That is very disappointing. I personally don't like a very easy paper. I like if the paper is hard. 2 reasons. One, then there is a kick of it. Other reason is the harder the paper, higher the Z scores. Because harder the paper, weak fellow can't do it. No. I'm a little evil on that end though. But okay, what's the answer on this? So weak fellow can't do it. The others will get it done. Then your Z score is high. Now, if you give a question like this, like the first question, everyone gets it right. It's a Z scores are if I told you, if everyone gets 100 out of 100, the 100,000 people who are writing the paper, if everyone gets 100 out of 100, how much is your Z score? Now, some of you all think, no, sir, to get this much of a Z score, how much of marks I should get? If everyone gets 100 out of 100, how much is your Z score? If everyone gets 100 out of 100, your Z score is 0 now. I've told this to you all before. Z score is based on how better you do compared to the average person. So if it's a very easy paper, everyone has got like the full mark. everyone has got like the full mark, then no point, right? But with a hard favor, weak fellow doesn't do, other fellow does it, unless it's going to very well. So that's the kick out of it. When I did A-levels, did I wish for a hard favor? Good question. I don't think I would have wished for that. Even though right now I'm saying I would have liked the paper to be hard. At that point, I would have wished, when I was doing A-levels, I would have thought, please be an easy paper. But our paper is actually harder than the 2016. 2016 was a very easy paper. I did it in 2017. 2016 paper is more easy. If you do the 16 paper, you will see. Very easy. Even in paper 2, more lazy questions. And then 17 was harder, way harder than 16. But now, looking back at all the papers, standard was the same. Okay. Right. Yes, 2 years fees with aparad when you get a question like that. Exactly. 19 was the new syllabus. Was 24 hard? So from 2019 onwards, they have kept the standard the same. They haven't made it very easy. They haven't made it very hard. Some questions are tricky. That has been there overall in every paper. There has not been a very easy, very hard paper. Now, even the COVID year, most teachers were saying paper lazy karai because couldn't study. No, they didn't do that. If you go and see the 2020 paper, there is nothing very big easy there. It's a normal paper. It's just like the 2019 paper, just like the 21 paper. Look what happened. So even with COVID, though, crisis and power cuts, people didn't have time to study, will make the paper easy. Nonsense. Let's say A-level paper. They have to keep it at a standard. My age, right? You can calculate this. Very hard for me to calculate my age. I also do the numbers only and see. Right. So coming into my 2020 then. Okay. 20. A free good has which of the following characteristics? What's the characteristic? Free good. Free good can an uneconomic. Same thing was there. Some degree of scarcity. Is free good have scarcity? No, free good has unlimited. It has no opportunity cost in supply. See, same thing, no, before question also. I think the answer was number 1. Then same answer then number 2. That is your examiner for you. Okay. Right. That's why I'm saying now 80% of the questions that you will get in your paper also are there in past papers, right? Okay, its consumption or production doesn't generate externality, nonsense. Supplied by the government, no. Supplied by the government, no. So answer number 2. Done. Then we go into 2020 question 2. Economists refer to the term capital exclusively to what is capital? Human-made goods which are used to produce other goods. Human-made can be man-made. Man-made used to produce other goods makes sense. Machines, equipment, okay, makes sense. We look at the other answers also. Money used to purchase capital? No, that is not capital. Savings. Savings is not capital, that is savings. Money used by entrepreneur, money in a way. Real estate, okay. Forest. Forest is not capital. My forest is natural resource. So, no. So, how do you define capital? Answer number 1. Man-made goods that are used to produce other goods and services. Right. Easy one. Then api yanawa 2021. Okay. A more complete minerals also you can consider as land. Natural resources in its basic form is land. If people come and do different things, then only it becomes capital. Okay. A more complete short definition of economics would be that economics is the study of what are we studying? How employment opportunities should be created? Never. How countries trade goods and services? No, we learned that, but that is not what economics is. How goods and services are produced without damaging the environment? Good to produce, but that is not what economics is. How unlimited resources are allocated among limited ones? Resources wants hurry, but they have mixed the two up, right? Unlimited resources, never any limited resources. Limited wants, never unlimited wants. They have switched the two. Be very careful. So not 4 also. Let's go to 5 says, how scarce resources, scarce means limited resources, are allocated to satisfy unlimited wants. Right? No? That's what we were talking about as well. Okay? How you can use your limited resources to satisfy your unlimited wants. Good. Then we go to the next one. What is not a benefit of division of labor? Now, this is a bit of a tricky question. They conduct this thing around. Now, what is division of labor? Division of labor is lamai where you break the production into smaller parts. For example, now if you take the production, let's say garments will sewing a t-shirt. So you break it into smaller parts. So first one is the cutting department. What they do, they cut all the cloth. Then you have the sewing department. They do all the sewing, stitching and all of it. Then you have the buttoning fellows. They do all the buttons. Then there is someone who does the ironing. ලස්සනට එක iron කරනවා. Then you have someone who packages. So you break the production process into smaller parts. And one person works on only one thing. That's what you call division of labor. One person doesn't make the entire t-shirt like cut and sew and button and iron and package කරන්නේ නැහැ. One person works only on one thing. So you have the cutting department when the making people who are cutting. That's division of labor. So they're asking you, what is not a benefit? Okay. So we'll cut off the obviously wrong answers. Okay. Okay. When you have division of labor, what happens, Lamai? People tend to specialize. No, people become good at that. When people become good at that, Lamai, they are very efficient. Ne? When you keep on doing, now for a year, you have been doing cutting. Now, even think of me, Lamai. Do I try to teach all the other subjects? No. Now, there are some econ teachers, they teach business also. If you want, I also can teach business in math. I also have done my degree. I've done SIMA. I've got a good dialect. But I don't want to. I don't like, not that I don't like the subject. Two theory based. Right? So if I want, I can. If I want, I can, teach, let's say, O-levels. O-level accounting and business. Then for those people, I can tell them to come to my class. I can do that also. I can, let's say, go and teach Excel different subjects. But I don't do all of that. I specialize in econ. I use all my time to make my econ class better. So that's division of labor specialization. I keep on doing this. Now I have been doing this over and over again. And what I get? I become specialized. I become better at what I do. So as a result of this, what happens, Lamai? Definitely, my productivity increases. Now, if you ask me, sir, can you make a term exam paper? Initially, to make a term exam paper, I'll take one entire week. Now, if I want to make a term exam paper within, let's say, a day, within 5-6 hours, I can make a full 50 MCQ, 10 essay question, I can put things around, change things around and make. So my productivity has gone up. Definitely, that's a benefit. Then what do you think about innovations? When I have been doing the same thing again and again, when I'm an expert in this, what about my ability to introduce innovations? It will increase, no? Because I'm an expert in this now. So if I want, I can turn things around. Now, even for example, if I want to change my tube, I will change. I want to do something, I can change. So you can increase innovations is also a benefit. Right? It also becomes a benefit of this. Then reduce total cost. What do you think? When you are having division of labor, everyone's good at what they do. Productivity is high, means they make less errors. Errors will go down. That means your total cost can actually start to come down. So that can also, Lamai, be a benefit. So then answer number 2, 3, and 4 can't be your answer. All of these are benefits. Then you have, Lamai, answer number 1 and 5. 1 is saying increase flexibility of the workforce. 5 is saying increased income inequality. Now, this is a question I also have a small bit of a debate on. But then there are certain questions, examiner comes up with an answer, you'll have to go with that, right? So which one do you think out of these two is your answer? Increased flexibility and increased income equality, not a benefit. Not a benefit. Which one do you think doesn't connect at all, Lamai? There is no direct connection. Income equality වල direct connection එකක් නැහැ නේද? Income equality and division of labor. Income equality is how equally your income is distributed. There is no direct connection. There could be like an indirect connection. You can say as a division of labor in factories in the poor people. You can, argue that way. But directly there is no connection. So therefore, you will go with that as your answer. This is the one that is not a benefit. But then I totally agree with some of you all. You can argue with answer number 1. So you can say, sir, division of labor, one person is doing only one small thing, sir. So then how can you say increased flexibility? It depends on how you interpret flexibility. Now, if you're thinking flexibility is one person can work in different departments, then no. Then it has to be decreased flexibility. But now, it depends on what the examiner was thinking when he was making the paper. So, may wage questions where a couple of answers, now, the first time we are seeing something like this, where a couple of answers can be debatable. Some can say, nah, meka tamai hari. Some can say, no, meka tamai hari. But you might not have like a very obvious correct answer, like in this question. But we will go with answer number 5 here, because that is the one that has no connection at all, right? Because division of labor will, a benefit of it won't be that income equality increases. Increase income equality means dividing income equal. Yes. So you go with answer number 5. Is that okay, Lamai? Same. Not the first part. Done. That's 2021. Then we go into 2022. Now the latest papers, 2022, 2023. Why is four is wrong? Because when you have division of labor, you get better at what you do. So now you're expert in that. Now you're able to come up with innovations if you want to. Now, for example, I have been teaching econ for the last 5 years. Now I'm expert in what I'm doing. So if I want, I can, come up with something new. It's easy for me than, let's say, someone who is completely new to come up with an innovation. Right. Central problem of economics. What is the central problem? How the prashne? What's the problem? Establishing a fair tax system? No, that's not the central problem. No. Ensuring minimum income for each citizen? No. Allocating scarce resources to satisfy unlimited wants? Yes. So the main problem in economics is how are you going to use your limited resources to satisfy munada, to satisfy your unlimited wants? And that is your answer. Then enacting a set of laws that prevent resources from overuse. No. Providing goods and service without wasting. No, that is not the central problem. That's good to do, but that is not the central problem. So what is this, Lamai? This is because of scarcity, how you use your resources. Right. Okay. 22. Then we come to 2023. Okay. Latest papers. Economic resources can be simply classified into 2 main categories. What are the 2, Lamai? Now, you all know economic resources, land තියනවා, capital තියෙනවා, labor තියෙනවා, entrepreneurship තියෙනවා, right? Those are the 4. No? But there is a categorization before this, Lamai. Matakada, in my tutor also we talk about this. So they are not asking the 4, they are asking you into 2 categories. What are the 2 categories that you can put it? Capital and natural, land and capital, natural and human, property and human. What are the 2 categories, Lamai? Remember, it's there in my tute. Unit number 1 tute. If you go back, you can see. Land and capital together are called what, Lamai? They are called what resources? Land and capital together are called property resources. These are called, Lamai, property resources. Labor and entrepreneurship is called what? Labor and entrepreneurship is called human resources. This is there. This is called human resources. So if you take your economic resources, it can broadly be classified as property and human. Property becomes land and capital, human becomes labor and entrepreneurship. So they are asking you not for these 4, they are asking you for these 2. So what is the 2? Property resources and human resources. Answer number 1. Renewable and unrenewable is a breakdown of natural resources. So answer number 4, property and human resources. Okay, done. Then we go into the next one, 2023. Another question. The fundamental difference between needs and wants. O-levels වලටත් කරනවා needs and wants. A-levels වලටත් you don't have to ask that, no. But they have asked. Can't help. Needs are essential for survival. Wants are desires only. Somewhat makes sense. No, needs are essential. Wants are desires. Okay. Wants are essential for survival. Neither. Needs and wants are considered synonyms. Synonyms mean similar words. No, they are different things. Wants can be satisfied with limited resources. No, we have unlimited wants, but you can't. While needs cannot be satisfied, man. Needs are changing over time. No, wants only change over time. Needs are similar, right? So not this as well. So therefore, you go with answer number 1. So 2023, question 2 is number 1. 22, question 1 was 3. Right. So 23, question number 1 was 4. Question number 2 was 1. Okay. Then, right. Now, think that you are a student who did A-levels last year. 25 batch anyway, you're in the 24 batch. So a 24 batch student would have done all the past papers until 2023 and gone. Until this point, they would have done and gone. The next paper only, what is coming, they won't know. Right? So think of you're a student like that. Now we'll look at you going to the actual exam, and now you're getting these couple of questions. There are 2. Okay. Don't you think this is the same thing that has been there, but product different? They have tested, they have given examples and tested, but now they are testing on the definition. Is that hard? So that's the same thing that will happen to your year also. Same kind of thing, product I think you might, if you are lucky, the exam will be very lazy and copy and paste, but that is rare. They will change it around. Okay, what do you think is the answer? The core difference between normative and positive economics. Last 2 questions, I want all of you all, if you have not fallen asleep, give me an answer. If you have not done, do it with me now and give me an answer. Okay. Normative economics provides descriptive analysis, while positive economics offers policy prescriptions. Okay. Positive economics is fact-based. Normative economics is value-based. Normative economics is based on empirical evidence, while positive economics is based on subjective opinions. Positive economics relies on value judgments, while normative economics is objective. Positive economics focuses on ethics. Normative economics deals with testable hypotheses. Which one is your answer? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we'll cut off a few answers. I'll cut off my answer number 3. Now, my answer number 3 is saying positive economics is subjective opinions. Positive economics is not subjective opinions. Normative economics is only subjective opinions. So I will cut this. These are objective. Wrong. I'll cut a few more. Number 4. Number 4 says positive economics is value judgment. Is positive value judgment? Normative tamai values lama. Positive is not value judgment. No. And normative is objective. Never. Normative is subjective. Wrong. Last one. Positive economics focuses on ethics, while normative economics with testable hypothesis. Can you test normative statements? Test karanna puluwan. You can't test now. So again, wrong. You have 1 and 2 left. Which one? Look at number 1. Normative economics provide descriptive analysis. Positive economics offer policy prescriptions. No, positive doesn't give policy prescriptions. Then positive economics is fact-based, correct? Positive, fact-based. Normative is value-based, value judgments. Right. Lama, you make economic policies based on what? Positive or normative statements? Economic policies, parliament ke debate karla, economic policies hadanne ko. Remember, Lama, economic policies are based on economic policies are made based on normative statements, not positive. Huh? Now, for example, Anura is coming and telling we have to charge a 300% tax on motor vehicles, then only we can earn government revenue. Anura is saying, right, parliament, think of a parliament. Anura will like, Abi Badu Vatikarana 300% Siratunsi Gana, right, on motor vehicles. Then on the opposition Sajid. Sajid has been silent these days. No, okay, maybe on behalf of Sajid, and Harsha is coming and saying that. Harsha from the opposition comes and says, no, 300% is too much. People have to afford a motor vehicle. Put only 100% tax. So Harsha has a different opinion. He is saying, no, people have to afford vehicles, so give it at 100%. Another is saying, no, our government tax revenue is very low. We have to collect taxes. So that's why I'm charging 300. So Anura has one opinion, this fellow has one opinion. normative statement. Subjective. There is no right or wrong. Anura is saying mehema karamu there. Other one is saying no, this one. That's based on their personal values, lamai. That's what they believe. And then what happens? Anna parliament එක ගහ ගන්න debate. This other people, this one මෙයා කියනවා නෑ නෑ මෙහෙම කරමු අරයා කියනවා මෙහෙම කරමු, and then what happens? Then they will vote. And NPP has majority now in the parliament. So anyway, what Anura says will actually end up happening. So that's how policies are made. Economic policies are based on normative statements. Now economic policies get made. Right. What is value-based? Value-based means based on your personal values. Now, I might say, for example, now I'm a Muslim, I might say, okay, I don't eat pork. That's based on my values. My values, but I believe I say, okay, I don't eat pork. Some of you all might say, no, I'm eating, so no problem. So there is no right or wrong. I believe that I should not eat. You eat or no, that is not my problem. And I can't say, I can't say. That's what you call value-based. That's normative statements are value-based. The fifth one again, positive statements focus on ethics. Ethics can like what is right, what is wrong. That's not positive. That's again normative. Normative is only focusing on ethics. What is right, wrong. And normative can be tested. No, normative can't be tested. Positive can be tested with hypothesis and all of that. So that's what you have answer number 2. Done. The next question is a very interesting one. I like this MCQ. We'll see if you can get this right. Okay. There's a bit of a tricky point. Think carefully, give me an answer. Which of the following statements best explains the concept of economics? Think there is a bit of a tricky catch here. Capital represents human labor and innovation in the production process. Okay. Capital refers to any financial investment made by individuals. Okay. Capital includes only the tangible assets used for production, such as machines and buildings. Capital refers to financial resources used to fund production. Capital refers to produced means of production. Produced can be man-made means of production. Which one do you think? So far, around half of you all are wrong. Around half of you all are wrong. You can't give me 2 answers. Make an give me one. Which one? Okay, I'll cut off a few answers. When you get a question like this, you cut off the unwanted ones and narrow it down. I'll narrow it down. I will cut off answer number 2 and answer number 4 because those talk about money. Answer number 2 says capital refers to financial investments. That is not capital. Capital is the man-made resources, the machines, the buildings, all of those. Capital refers to financial. No. So 2 and 4 cut off. Okay. Then I have 1, 3, 5. We'll look at 1. Capital represents human labor and innovation. Does capital represent human labor? Is a person's labor called capital? Capital, you can't say capital represents human labor. Capital is not human's labor. Human's labor is called labor. That's not capital. No? So, and innovation, no, come on, entrepreneurship. Those again cut. 3 and 5 is left. I'll narrow it down. The ones who gave me 1, 2, and 4, do you want to reconsider and give me a 3 or a 5? Again, think and give. Okay, now around 70% of you all are correct, but still 30 of you are wrong. Okay. Number 3. Capital includes only the tangible assets used for production, such as machines and buildings. Is capital only the tangible assets? I agree, capital is tangible assets, machines, buildings include. Tangible, physical, real capital. But is it only that? Can't you remember my types of capital? Types of capital, there is something called human capital. There is something called social capital. There are so many types of capitals, right? Human capital is intangible, exactly. So is it only the tangible assets like machines and buildings? So the word only, that is what it makes it wrong, Lamai. Now, if the question didn't have the word only, if the question said capital includes tangible assets such as machines and buildings, correct. Capital only includes unknown. So be very careful. That's where the tricky point there is. So not number 3. Then you have number 5. Capital refers to produce means. Produce means kya another man-made. Man-made. Produce means of production. So man-made things that are used in production. That is what it is. Real factor means tangible, physical thing. That's what we say. So that's why you go with answer number 5 and not number 3. 1, 2, and 4 are off, but 3 and 5 are very, very close. 3 has the word only, so it will not be yours. Right. That is that. Okay, so we'll finish off with the MCQs today. We are right on time. We have 1 minute left. We can get the essay questions done next class. Along with that, most likely the next set of MCQs also we can do. Okay, right. Listen. Now what I want you to do, for those who have not done the essay question, next Friday, same time, we will do the essay questions of this. So do the essay questions and come. Plus, I will also send you the next focus area. The next focus area questions I will send. So, AK, do the MCQs. Maybe we will not have time to do the essay questions. AK, MCQs tickle. And if you can do ahead. If you all have time, but minimum essay questions of this one, MCQs of the next paper. Next paper I haven't sent, I will send. Right. How did you all do? Out of overall, I think there were around 23, 24 questions. Here. How did you all do out of all of this? I think there were 23. At least did you all come? Minimum 15? Yes. 15 is somewhere around 75% you're there. 75 and 16. Okay. 15 16 16, 17. You're there again, you're at a level of A. So unit number 1 is somewhat okay. Now you learn from your mistakes. And remember this, Lamai. Now doing past papers, it's not about the quantity. It's not about what you need to do is you need to figure out where you went wrong, why you went wrong, why is this wrong, why is sir saying this is right. Because the whole point is, in your year, you will get the same kind of a thing put that twisted. So it's about learning that past paper. Now some of you all past papers, you do 1,000 questions, right or wrong mark, I got 500 out of 1,000. That is not the point. It's not the quantity, exact, the quality. You have to learn from that. So take some time to learn these questions. If these questions come again in your year, maybe not the same thing, but these concepts comes again in your year, you have to get it right. Those small things where you got wrong, what happened. And what I want you to also do is this. Now, in this past papers, there were around 23, 24 questions that we have done. So, if there are any difficult questions, I'm telling you today, please note this down. Any difficult questions, you have the tute with you, highlight that question. Mulu question question number highlight karanna, maybe on the top of the tute, first page, okay? On the tute that you have that first page over here, this is the tute. No? So whatever question that is hard, right? Highlight those questions. Or maybe on the top of this page, write it and keep. Let's say, for example, in this tute, I can't edit. Maybe page question number 3, question number 5. Write that and keep. Why am I telling you to do this? One day before the exam, you don't have time to go through all of these past papers. One day before the exam, only those hard ones. Now, one day before the exam, you don't have to go and study again what is the branch of economics that studies individual behavior and household. That you anyway know. Whatever you think you found tricky, whatever you think you found hard, highlight that question and write it on that top page. You will realize the benefit of that 1 or 2 days before the exam. If your exam is on the 21st of October, 20th of October, what you will be doing is only going through that hard questions. Because by that time, as a part of the mock exam series, all of that, you would have done around 2,000 MCQs. 2,000 MCQs, 1 day before the exam, you can't revise 2,000 MCQs. And there is no point revising the very easy ones that you have nothing to learn. Tricky ones, please start making a note for other subjects as well. On the top of the paper, write it down and also highlight. Then you know 1 or 2 days before the exam, I will only go through this. Others, you don't have to learn because those are obvious things you know. Like question number 1, 2011 question number 1, that is there here. I make a pattern karanna. You know that definitely you will get this right. But maybe something like the division of labor question. Maybe something like the 2024 last question. Right? And those are things good for you to study again. Highlight and keep. Depends on you. What is hard for you, what is tricky for you, you highlight and keep. Have that practice going forward for all the papers that you do. Not only econ, other subjects as well, it will help. Right. So with that, we'll call it off. And then that's it. Recording of this is not really there. If I am uploading, I will send it, but so far I have not decided to upload it. See you. Bye-bye.